Let's do this. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Podcastle, more epic than Nightmare and more obscure than Parallel 9. My name is Jim Sterling, and I'm joined by...
a faggot.
Shut up.
He's a faggot.
Don't you try and score points.
The tyranny begins.
Look, he sits there in the corner waiting for somebody else to insult me so he can jump on their backs and start going, yeah, like Jabba the Hutt's squawky little bird friend. That's you. You're Salacious Crumb.
You're trying to turn it down. You're trying to turn it round, but it's not working, Jim.
Yeah, it is, because you're Salacious
I have the Read
Crumb.
Wardox's blog foundation backing me
You're
here.
Salacious Crumb. You're sat there at the end of Jabba's dick going, yes! I've fucking seen ya.
Anyway, carry on with the introductions after I ruined it.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
yeah, you ruin the introduction, and then
Sorry.
suddenly it's carry on with the introduction.
Sorry, I just feel guilty.
I'm joined by that massive dyke Atheistium.
I'm a dyke.
And that even bigger dyke Wardrox.
He's
Oh,
a
hi.
dyke. I just want to go
That was
to
fun.
bed.
I think we can leave it at that now.
Well,
We've covered everything.
Yeah, right, we'll see you next time, guys. Bye. That'd be great. I'd love to
fucking hate
just release
Destructoid,
that.
dude. They're all idiots on that website. Like, who the fuck reads it? Seriously?
I don't.
Yeah, and I can start putting on my funny voice. Hello.
Hello.
Joystick is the only website to go to for all your news, views, and opinions
And
in the games industry.
If Joystick might be too much intense news for you, you can also try Kotaku, which kind of, is that lighter side.
I heard
game.
that Rip 10, I've got to pronounce it right, Rip 10 are quite good.
10 sound like a bunch of faggots.
Actually, I played Call of Duty 4 with the guys from Rip 10, one of which was Wardrox. And it was the worst experience of my
Of
life.
your life.
That's because you were playing Call of Duty.
Shut up.
Oh, you shit.
Okay, yeah, it was the second worst experience of my life, next to playing Halo with Wardrox.
I think playing any game with Wardrox would equal as most destroying part of your life.
Well, it kills me a little bit each day to remember that I'm in the same country as him, so... Why do the only reason I'm emigrating is because Wardrox is in the country. As I said on the show, I mean, in the second half we're talking about like game delays, and I have actually Reggie Fils-Aimé used his meaty fist to dial my phone number and actually said to me, "Hey Jim, I would love to give you Super Smash Brothers right now. I've got 10,000 copies behind me that I would personally drive to England from America, but I'm not going to because Wardrox is in that country." And I cannot bear the thought that Wardrox might play Super Smash Brothers.
Anyway.
Oh dear, but I love Wardrox.
Don't lie.
This is how I show my love. It's like that woman with the unibrow in Hey Arnold.
What, Helga?
Helga, yeah, right. I secretly write poems about how I long for Wardrox to hold me in
This
his
isn't making me
northern
feel
arms.
like a happy individual.
Sorry?
This isn't making me feel happy, I'll be honest.
Emo drugs. Everybody knows you're emo now.
You're a
So-
dirty emo.
Don't make me put my eyeliner back on and take photos of myself from arm's length.
Isn't that what you do anyway?
Well, yeah.
Anyway, I'm
Then
sorry,
what's-
I didn't actually want to kick off the show by abusing Wardrox. I was looking forward to that. I've kind of...
Just happens. Doesn't it?
Yeah, kind of ruined it for myself now. Ruined the treat. But, let's start by talking about what games we've been playing since last we all convened here in this podcastle. I was actually going to keep that up as a gimmick that we were actually inside some sort of castle, but didn't even started.
That would be so cool if we had our own
Yeah.
cast.
I mean, actually, who was it? I think it was Praise Chaos who asked an awesome question about whether we've ever had to defend our Podcastle from attack from the other blog sites. Like, they try and ram down the gate to the Podcastle and storm it.
I don't think any other websites actually heard us.
No. Otherwise, I'm sure Brian Crescenti would be leading an army with their battering rams, and
I'm
we have
sure
to pour
he'll be
cauldrons
rolling
of
it up
oil
his
on them.
grave if we're still going.
Brian Crescenti is a handsome man.
I like his hair salon.
Seriously. I bet he's got, like,
Does
really...
wonders.
I bet he's got, like, really rugged back hair, but not the kind that's unattractive. It's just, like, the kind you would really just grab hold of while he rides
Well, like
you.
kind of an Austin Powers kind of style.
Yeah.
That
He's just,
You
like...
grab and purr.
Yeah, just like Robin Williams is just, like, all over body hair, but it looks really primal. Like,
Okay, Jim.
like Dr. Zaius.
Jim's got some kind of strange fancy going on.
I'm really
Actually,
trying to
it's-
think of something I can add to the conversation here, but I'm pretty sure you're just saying it all for me, and I'm just shaking my head.
It's because you agree.
So games we've been playing.
Much.
Games we've been playing.
Yeah, you're not shaking the head on top of your neck, I know that much.
Thanks, Jim.
Did you hear how I implied you were masturbating?
I did. That was quite clever.
Did you
Um,
did you pick up on that bit?
I did, actually.
Awesome.
Very good. Well done. 5 points for you.
Wait, we've got a point scheme?
Yeah, we got a point scheme. I'm currently on 10,000 and Wardrox is on -1,000,000.
What am I on?
4.
More than Wardrox. That's all
Oh,
that
that's-
matters.
It's all that matters.
It's basically the whole point scheme is called the have more points than Wardrox point scheme.
I'm doing alright then.
Yeah, so long as you got more points than Wardrox, who's got -1,000,000, well, -2,000,000 now, you've dropped another million in the past 30 seconds, then you're okay. On the subject, Wardrox, how I love him, how are you been doing with the games that you have been putting in your games machines?
I've been doing very well with the games that I've been putting in my games machine. Thank you very much, Mr. Jim Sterling.
Thank you, that is okay, I do not mind asking you the question.
Good. I'm glad to receive your question. And your penis.
Oh.
What have you been playing? And
I have been
Oh,
playing
God.
mostly Folklore, Uncharted, and Ratchet & Clank this week on my sexy PS Triple.
Sony fanboy.
Yeah.
So you went
love
over
it.
to the dark side.
I did, and I thought that I would buy it, bring it back, open it, go, ooh, shiny, hug it, go to sleep with it, and then just leave it in a cupboard like my Wii. But it's just been, I've actually been playing it, which is amazing.
Wow.
And I've been playing a range of games, and
Oh,
every
I
day
just
it
had
seems
a
to...
heart attack. He's playing on his PS3 and he's playing games on it.
I know, it's not right.
I've not.
Oh god.
What is this thing called PS3 games?
Well,
So-
they're like 360, like Xbox 360. You know Xbox 360 has games?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
They're like
yeah.
them, only in a slightly different case, and they work if you try and play online.
Wow.
weird. I'm
This-
not sure I like it.
What
Well,
is
it's a
this
rumors
new
about this
technology?
Blu-ray. It's Blu-ray.
Oh,
Yes,
the
it's-
Blu-rays. I've yet to actually experience the Blu-rays, because I'm a little bit scared. I'm not sure I'm quite ready for them, because I hear they're quite intense.
Have you got a copy of Talladega Nights yet?
It was on special offer, but
Nice.
I was just like, it's not worth 20 quid for a joke.
I found out that that women don't appreciate it if after sex you just look at them and go Talladega Nights.
How did you find out?
They hit
you read it
I
online?
found out.
From a woman's point of view, I can't say I've ever had to experience that. But if I do sleep with someone who says that, I will tell you how I feel about it.
I found out that they don't appreciate it.
I reckon this is from Jim's personal experience.
So do I.
Eh?
I
Fuck off. Whatever it was you said, fuck off.
Anyway.
I've had sex about 3 times.
Oh my god!
No,
Why?
no, it was more like 5.5.
How do
Was
you
that
have
a
sex
rape?
half a time?
That's rape.
Was
Well,
it with
the-
yourself? So there's only half the number of people there.
Yeah, I put on a wig and I've got a mirror with a hole drilled into it.
Oh god.
Not,
But the hole's a bit too
How do-
small, so I'm just lying there half the time in a bleeding heap on the floor, crying. Crying and snogging
Anyone
my
thinks
mirror
this
girlfriend.
podcast is actually a gaming podcast because they've been serious.
it's a shit
See,
podcast,
misled.
I'll give you that.
What the fuck are games?
Just us laughing for fucking an hour and a
So,
half.
Lauren, what
Laughing
games
at
have you been
ourselves.
playing?
I've been playing the same shit over and over. I've been playing Call of Duty 4 as usual.
Yeah.
Oh, Mega 5 is
Omega
fucking
5.
awesome. Omega 5. Oh,
Omega
dude.
5.
The Glacier Fortress. I
Stage
fucking love that
1.
game. Stage 1. The Glacier Fortress.
The escalated invasion.
I love it, dude. And I've been playing Team Fortress 2 because my PC could slightly run it, so I've been playing that. I suck really bad at it, but I've been playing it, and I love that game. And the Heavy is the most adorable character ever created by man.
Hang on, which one's the heavy? Because I don't play TF2. He's
Oh,
the really
he's
big
a
guy with the
huge
thing he
gunner.
carries by his waist.
Yeah, and he's just so cute. And he's got little legs.
Bit like Jim.
He is kind of like Jim. But he's more top heavy.
I'm working on it.
Keep going, Jim. Keep going.
You can get there if you try.
I just gotta believe.
Jim, what have you been playing?
I've mostly been playing Halo with Wardrox. So,
Oh, that's sad.
yeah.
Oi!
Actually, no, we did co-op on the Halos, and it was really easy.
Did you win
That's because you were
anything?
playing it on easy with me who can actually play
I was
Halo.
playing on
And I was just
normal.
running ahead and killing the enemies and then going, there you go, Jim. Right, just keep walking forwards. There you go, Jim.
It sounds like
Bollocks.
playing a legendary.
We were playing on normal, and Wardrox was like, "Man, I'm really shit at this game. Jim, help me stop being so
Oh,
shit."
whatever.
And I killed like 10. There was a level with 10 scarabs on them, and I killed them all. And he was just sat there crying. I could hear him over Xbox Live weeping.
Right. There's a
Is it
reason why
taking
I
you this
actively
long to
seek
go
you
for
out when
single
we play
player?
online.
You actively seek me out because you fancy me and want to have sex with me.
Yes, when I teabag you, it's me saying, oh, I wish I was doing this IRL. I really do. That is exactly what's happening. You noob.
Oh, you said
Yeah,
the word.
yeah, you heard me.
Oh dear.
I called you the
Yeah.
N-word.
Wait, that's not the N word.
What?
Yeah,
No.
Newcastle. That's the N word.
I dread if anyone on here was from Newcastle. Oh, dang!
I'd hate if someone who was from Newcastle, because then I'd have to hear them.
I'd hate if anyone on here was from
Welcome to
Manchester.
the
Oh,
Podcastle.
dang!
Bloody Southerners.
I'm sorry that we're superior.
I'll go and eat a Lancashire hot pot.
Lancashire hot pot's lovely. How is that offensive? I like Lancashire hot pot.
Go eat a Lancashire hot pot and watch Coronation Street and sing along with the theme tune and sit there going.
You could watch the equally bad Emmerdale. I think that's up north as well.
Jim,
Jim, that's Casualty.
That's no casualties. No, is that Casualty?
Or is that Holy
I
City?
don't know. I don't watch these shows. Most of my guests are House.
That's Nightmare.
Can you do Owls?
I love how nobody, because British people don't actually listen to the show, so now nobody knows what the fuck we're talking about.
Oh no, everyone will have turned off after the first 3 minutes and just
True.
gone, yeah, this shit again.
True.
No, they've just turned it off. So anyway, yeah. So we were discussing how Halo 3 is better than Call of Duty.
Well, we weren't, because that's not true.
Oh, God.
Yeah,
sorry.
no, let Wardrox talk, because this is an opportunity for him to make an ass of himself. Carry on.
Oh, I was sorry. I was just nearly sick of the
Well,
notion that you could even
Call of
think.
Duty 4, don't get me wrong, Call of Duty 4 is a very, very good game.
Great
They just
game.
Okay, it's a great game. It is definitely one of the best games I have ever played. However, It is
However,
fundamentally flawed, and I think in many ways, and I think they made some serious design faults with the game
Yeah,
throughout.
I think about that when I look at your face, but I still have to look at it.
Example. Give me
Okay.
a fucking example.
You cannot. The game, they purposefully do not let you play split screen over Xbox Live, which means that when I have mates around, normally we come round, we all play Halo Online, like 2 of us, 3 of us, play Halo Online. Can't do that on COD4.
Hey, Wardrox, do you know why they don't do that?
Why?
Because split screen is for fucking retards. Fucking
Or
hate
people
split
who
screen.
have friends in real life.
What the
Let's
not
fuck
even
is
go there,
real
Wardrox.
life?
Well, I don't even want to talk about this real life.
Yeah,
I would rather, right? I would rather, if I had friends, I would buy another TV.
yeah.
And
Because
another
I
Xbox
hate
and another.
split screen that much. I would have another TV. Me and Puppet have discussed this. If we ever lived together, we would have to have 2 separate Xboxes and 2 separate TVs. Because I can never ever go split screen. It would make me physically ill to go split screen.
Why are you, stupid?
No! Because I don't like the fact that if you're playing against each other, I can see what the fuck you're doing. Don't defeat the point. Split screen sucks.
So the
most
fact that
of the
they've taken
time.
it out the game, in your opinion, is a good thing?
For me, yeah. I'm sure lots of people are very upset.
You would
but for
actively
me,
prefer a game which
yeah.
didn't let you have split screen than one that let you have split screen.
Yeah.
Yes.
It pissed people off. I think it's a very good thing.
I
gonna-
can understand why people would like split screen. I just don't
To
ever
play with
use
friends.
it. Even
That's
when I
why I
have
would
friends
like
over,
it.
we don't use it.
Wardrox, why do you need it? Don't you have GoldenEye on the N64? Fucking play it on that.
I don't like GoldenEye. Anyway, no, I just didn't warm to Call of Duty because with epic moments, like when you're in the sniping, when if anyone hasn't played Call of Duty 4, you're an idiot, and you should go play it because it's quite fun. And I'm going to ruin it for you anyway. Atlas is Fontaine. When you're doing the sniping mission, with the epic moments in that, like the very final bit where you're taking him out and you've got to wait for the wind and you've got to take into account the
was so
rotation of the
annoying.
Earth. Yeah, I got it first time, but it just felt like
Don't
I was just
lie.
being too controlled.
Don't lie. You
I
didn't
didn't get
get
it
it
first
time. Don't lie.
I did. It's not hard.
Don't lie.
I wasn't playing on veteran. I was just playing on normal. And
Don't lie.
just like when you're lying in the grass, it just felt very set up
In the
in
grass?
the way that. Yeah, when you're lying in the grass.
Are you sure you're talking about the bit where the helicopter's going above and you're on the building and you're sniping down at the guy and the wind
Yeah,
and everything?
I've already talked about that bit.
Okay, so you're talking about a completely different bit when I'm still talking
no,
about the...
same level.
I hate you.
Oh, I've just got a curry. Sorry,
What?
my food just turned up.
I want a curry.
Don't eat in front of us. That's rude. Let it go cold
What?
and go back to it
Eat
after.
on-
No, I'm going to eat some of it now.
Yeah,
Well,
well,
then... Leave yourself.
Curry.
stop eating curry, you cunt.
Okay.
Oh my god. Anyway, so we've all decided that Call of Duty 4 is indeed superior.
No! No, fine, I'll put my
I feel
curry
like you
down.
get away with that now, you're eating curry.
No, alright, I put my curry down. Online, I can see why it's appealing, but I do not like the way it rewards you for playing longer, not for having more skill.
Oh,
In
that's
Halo
bollocks.
3, when people beat you, it is because they have more skill.
No, it's
In
because the game's
in
laggy as
Call
fuck.
of Duty, shut up, Jim. In Call of Duty, they beat you because they have played for like a million years and have unlocked the better guns.
No.
Yes.
Listen. You're saying they beat you because they are better. I know someone who went back to in free prestige, was level 1 again, and still dominated the whole match.
That's
So
because by
it
the time you've
doesn't
done that,
matter.
you've played enough of it that your skill is up to that level. When I first
Hang on,
started playing,
you just
say that
contradicted
about
yourself.
Halo.
You
That's called
just-
practice.
Yeah, you just
yeah, but
contradicted
Halo also
yourself
matches
then.
you against people of equal skill.
Yeah, that's bollocks.
What do you mean it's bollocks? Just because you're rubbish?
Well, technically, with Halo, if it always matches you with people with equal skill and you're shit, then you'll always be playing against shit people, so you'll never get better.
Yeah, actually,
Which
I
we
heard
all
a story.
know is bullshit.
It's a false. It's a falsehood anyway, because your skill sometimes goes up without you, improving. I heard a story. One of my people from Project Wonderboy, who is a website that doesn't really exist anymore. He was playing Halo, and his skill went up, but his skill kept improving as he got better. But he eventually hit
the team he was on.
He hit a glass ceiling. His in-game skill was superior to his actual skill at playing Halo, and he was just end up stuck with people who, were too good for him and couldn't play the game anymore.
If you get beaten continuously, your skill goes down again.
Yeah,
your experience stays high.
What he was saying, Wardrox, is if your team does really well in Halo and you suck in Halo, if I'm playing with someone like, for example, like Puppet and oh my fucking god, a Hobo, people like that who are fucking really good at Halo, like my skill goes up with them, and like my skill will go up to like 20 plus or whatever, even though I'm realistically probably around 11 on my own. And so when I go back into game and play, I'm like this higher skill, and I go up against people that I can't play against. So, and that's frustrating, that the fact that I have to go down all these levels just to play against people I've got skill with.
And not only that, the game...
I like the fact that Halo has that structure, but I just prefer the gameplay in Call of Duty 4. That's all.
Yeah, the thing is, after playing Call of Duty 4, I mean, Call of Duty 4's online experience, in my opinion, and my opinion is better, is that... Shut up. Is that, it's just a much more tight... It feels more tight, it feels more refined. You compare it to Halo, something about Halo's gameplay just feels really loose and...
Halo's fun.
It feels... Shut the fuck up.
I mean, and the other thing with Halo and Call of Duty 4 is, obviously, this is my personal opinion, because a lot of people will absolutely die for Halo and would never touch Call of Duty, but the thing is, the online experience as well, Halo is renowned for having the shittest kind of community you could ever go towards, because you go online, and especially, like, I'm not making a big deal, but yeah, I'm female, so the first thing I get is, oh my fucking god, you're a girl, holy shit, you fucking suck, and all that stuff, which is, yeah, great. I go on to Call of Duty 4, and sure, I'll get the same thing, but a less degree, and... I'll actually get positive kind of reactions on Call of Duty.
Call of Duty feels like the ranked Halo matches. It feels like it's serious business. Like Call of Duty, serious business gaming.
I don't know, I just feel more comfortable with the Call of Duty controls. I just like the way it looks. Like, Halo looks
graphically,
awesome
it's more
as well.
impressive, I'll give you that.
Yeah, but I prefer the maps, I prefer the whole kind of
as I say, I really like the game. I mean, I've pumped stupid number of hours into it online, and I'm enjoying it, but now that originally I just hated it, but that's just because I was shit and being owned by people like Jim.
After playing Call of Duty 4, I don't know why Halo is so popular.
Yeah, but that's because you hadn't played Halo before, and
Halo has a kind of legacy. You've got to remember that Halo has a huge legacy and a storyline behind it, which I know everyone says, oh, Halo's storyline is crap. Yeah, I found it quite interesting.
I liked it.
I really enjoyed playing 3-3. Like, I played it with two other people. I played with Puppet and someone else, and we did it through Legendary, and I found it really difficult because I'm not a good Halo player, so I found Legendary really difficult. So I ended up hanging back and just picking off, like sniping a lot of the time.
Yeah.
But I really enjoyed it. I thought the storyline was fun, the maps look beautiful, but playing through Call of Duty 4, even though it's fictional, it's more realistic. I can understand it more. I love the Modern Warfare touch because I really enjoyed Call of Duty 2, but I don't know, Call of Duty 4 just really rounded it off for me. And
I mean, I do think that it's a very, very good game. And I would say that...
You just prefer Halo. It's just a matter of opinion. It doesn't mean Call of Duty 4 shit.
If I wrote down all the positives and negatives for all of them, but then took out, like, my personal preference, I would have to put them on almost exact par. It comes down to what kind of player you like. I mean, I like fun, and you two don't. So I play Halo, and you two like camping and sniping and being better than people, not through skill, but through the fact that you get more perks. So you play Call of Duty. And that is the truth.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry. If I want the Halo experience... If I want the Halo experience, I'll go play GoldenEye, because they're pretty much the same thing.
What?
Halo does not feel like combat evolved. It just feels like death matches, which I've played 1,000,000 times.
Yeah, but you didn't play any of the actual skill-based ones.
Oh, you mean skill? You mean the thing that people get in Call of Duty 4?
Yeah.
Wardrock, stop contradicting yourself. You're saying
Hang on, what? No.
you don't want people who are experienced and practice the game to be good and gain ranks because of that, and they get perks because of that. But you want people to, in Halo,
when
to
they
have
beat me,
skill
to beat
and have
fairly. When people come into the match, I don't want half the people
No,
to
it's not fair because
have
the
an
way
unfair
it's where you
advantage.
start and the other teams start on the map. Like some guns are closer than others, so you might be good with like the shotty, but the shotty might be on the other side of the map where they're closer to it. So how is that fair?
The maps are pretty much even. The maps on
Not
Halo
really.
are almost all incredibly
Not
well-balanced.
not the one where you know where you have those two high sniper spots. I can't remember the name of it. Is it the pit? I don't know. Anyway, if you literally just go around the corner, there's a shotty right around the corner, but on the other side there isn't that. And then you have like this. The only thing that's really equal is the kind of stealth bubble thing, which is right in the middle, to the left.
I don't know.
Not sure which
All I
map
know
that
is
is.
I've
It doesn't
been...
matter. It doesn't matter. It's opinion, and Wardrocks, don't fucking say that Call of Duty 4 is less fun than Halo because I have more fun playing Call of Duty 4 than I do Halo.
Right then.
And you're a dick.
Oh, I was waiting for that bit.
I have to add that.
All I know
Anyway.
is
That
I've
it is
been
actually the
playing
law.
Halo. I've been playing Halo 3 for a while now, desperately
No, you
trying to
haven't.
enjoy it.
Oh,
Desperately trying to enjoy it, and because, you know, I want to like it because I think it's too on vogue for people to hate Halo just because it's popular. So, you know, I tried to... What?
People like to hate everything because it's popular.
Dude, when I fucking wrote that Mario article, everyone said I hate him. Then
I
people were
wasn't even
saying
referencing that,
it's
but I will
popular.
if you
It's popular to not like Mario, but
Yeah, I can't
I
believe
love
you hate
Mario.
Mario.
I don't. I
Can't believe
fucking
you hate
love
him.
Mario.
Just because it's popular, you just like, oh, I'll just
Wardrock,
pick who
I'm
I'm
gonna fucking
popular.
come around your house and punch you in the face in a minute if you don't shut the fuck up.
You just try to get your rank up.
Oh my god. C-blogs.
No,
C-blogs are
don't
serious.
do it!
Guys,
C-blogs
C-blogs are serious
It's
business.
serious business.
It's the downfall of Detoid.
Call of
No,
Duty is like the forums and Halo is the C-blogs.
I just won't. But, yeah, people need to learn how to fucking read.
Yeah. Also, so,
Yeah,
back
that's
to
what I've
games.
been trying to... What? What? No, I was... Oh, okay.
You're right there, Jim.
I think I've just managed...
I'm talking about...
I
I'm
think I
talking about
managed
everyone...
to just say 50 things in a single sentence without saying
Yes.
anything.
Yes.
Well done.
The thing that gets me about C-blogs, people write some really good shit, but then people don't read it and just say, hey, great post, and they haven't fucking read it. And
Yeah, well, the
then
thing
you've
is...
got people who write, hey, I'm a complete faggot, but I'm going to keep pasting that 50 times so you guys think I've made a good post. And
Hey.
then people are like, wow, amazing post, and they haven't fucking read it.
The thing
so.
is about the C-blogs, if you write a post in the community blogs where you say, like, if you just do one paragraph, they're all like, oh, hey, you put that in the forums, you've not written it enough. But if you do, like, a really good, well-detailed article, it's, oh my god, wall of text.
Oh, I hate when people do that. Mind you, no one does that to me because I
But
can't
then
write
there's
enough.
some stuff that really does need to go in the forums. I think blogs are a place for that blogging and kind of articles and interesting stuff. I don't want to say, hey guys, which two games are better? And it's like, that's why the forums had a poll function. Like, it's stuff like that. Or, hey guys, I can't find this. Where do I get it from? Like, that's what the forums are for, because forums has this thing called, like, newest post where you can check all that shit. It's got polls. It's quick to reply, all that shit. So the forums are good to use. So I think people still need to use the forums.
Go
even
use the
though-
forums, you noob.
Even though there's a lot of faggots who go on there and are like, hi, look at my tits, and are fucking idiots.
You're just
Yeah,
jealous
that's how
of
I got
tits.
my job at Destructoid.
Exactly.
Like, oh my god, hi.
Oh my god, like, hey guys, should I post a picture of me slightly naked? Oh, look, I did it anyway.
Oh wow, Yoshi's so cute.
Wow. Then everybody replies telling her how hot she is, and it was all so cool.
You
are so
guys.
bitchy.
I don't give a shit. I hate that shit. I don't care.
I hate women too.
I mean, no, it's great. You're pretty, whatever. But welcome to Destructoid. Here's my fucking tits. Like, that's got some fucking respect for yourself, you know?
I might go in the forum and post my tits. See what happens.
People would cry.
Yep. So anyway, Jim, how are you getting along with Guitar Hero?
I discussed.
We've already talked about games, dude.
Yeah, well, I'm bored of
What, we
games.
should just stop talking about games?
Let's talk about Brittany. What's she up to lately?
Hey guys,
She died yet?
I
Oh,
heard
that
Britney
PS3.
is crazy. Report. Britney is crazy and George Bush is a bad president.
You're shitting me.
No way.
No, he is so stupid.
Oh my god, Jim. Die in a fire. Actually, don't die in a fire, I'd miss you.
Oh.
Wardrobe
Plus,
can
I
go die in a
wouldn't.
Plus,
I'd
if
be
I
so
died
happy.
if I died in a fire, the fat would keep it fueled for days.
That's so nasty, but convenient.
That's what it said. That's what they did to Dong Zhuo. He was a Chinese dictator, and it is said that when he was killed, they dragged his body out, put torches inside him, and just burnt the fat off for days.
That's not nice.
I don't want to eat my curry anymore.
Can I have,
Oh,
That's a lie, I do.
can
but
I have it?
No.
Mail it to me. So I've just got this soggy, sweaty package on my doorstep, and for once it won't be Wardrox.
Hey!
So yeah, that's what is even this show about? I just don't know anymore. Oh, that's the only thing I remember about the Podtoid is like us ranting about shit, Jim hating Mass Effect, and then there's user questions, and then I go to bed.
And then I've just woken up, but I can do with going. I just want to go back on YouTube and watch Jesus Christ Superstar musical numbers.
I just need some painkillers, dude. Oh, I want to die.
Put some eyeliner on.
Oh my god. The thing that worries me, Wardrox, is that you own eyeliner and I don't. I don't own eyeliner.
It's not eyeliner though, it's Marmite. He just draws on his face
The
in
only
Marmite.
thing I have is lip gloss, and it's clear lip gloss, so it's not even like glittery or anything. And moisturiser, and a hairbrush. And deodorant, of course. I've got
Really?
perfume, but that doesn't really count, does it? Because men have perfume.
Men smell.
Sausages. Talking of sausages, that hot dog steam.
Yeah, talk to us about the hot dog steamer for anyone who doesn't know.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, I sent it in the emailer, dude.
Wardrox-
Not the our emailer, the other emailer. Oh, is
well,
he
I
not
don't
on that?
get.
Oh.
Wardrox doesn't have access to any kind of Destructoid community emailers because he's more of a social pariah.
I don't technically think I'm in the community.
Yeah,
but, you know.
You're not. You're that weird.
I'll be in that
cat, you're that
stupid emailer
weird.
anyway.
You're that weird
Basic-
cat lady who lives on the
basically-
outskirts of town, masturbating with a candle in your minge, screaming at your cats and eating their cat food.
So basically, I found this little steamer for hot dogs, and it was in the shape of a dog, and I find that very amusing, and I'd like to buy one. And that is the whole story.
That was an awesome story. Time for a break.
Yeah.
Each year, thousands of people on the internet, people just like you or me, are the subject of vicious attacks.
What do you
Like-
mean, you fucking idiot?
Fuck you, Wardrox.
These people have done nothing wrong, usually, and yet are subject to the cruelest of torture.
I heard that when you were born, the doctor held you up to your mum just so she could get a fucking refund.
They end up pushed out of their forums with nowhere on the internet to go, apart from LiveJournal or MySpace.
Don't read Wardrox's blog.
Jesus Christ.
But you can help put a stop to all of this. Stand up to Jim Sterling today. Read Wardrox's blog.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to part 2. Now fuck off.
Nice.
I don't want to do the show. I'm too lazy. I'm too lazy to sit here and talk. That's... No wonder I'm so fat. Anyway, we're talking about delays. The show is called Access Delayed, which was my idea. And... yeah, so we're just going to talk about why it's shit that Super Smash Bros. Isn't in our hands right now. That's pretty shit, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Stay tuned for the next episode where we'll be talking about how
Podcastle.
shit it is that we don't have.
Don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I'm
fuck.
actually pissed off with these delays because, and here's where I'm going to add something that you missed. They also, like, Rock Band is really pissing me off right now.
Oh yeah, that's
The way
not
that
out,
it's
is
been
it?
out in America, people are getting bored. People are talking about Rock Band 2, and I haven't even touched the damn thing.
That, yeah.
We've still got, hang on, how many weeks? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, about 8 weeks until it comes out over here.
Maybe that's
That's
a
just
cunning
fucking
ploy
stupid.
to get people excited about it again.
Well, I'm going to be coming online and be like, hey everyone, I just got Rock Band, who wants to play? And they'll be like, whatever,
Oh,
we're playing
nice,
Super
well.
Smash Brothers.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the major problems with these delays that I've noticed is because everyone's connected to the internet. Well, everyone worth living is connected to the internet now. By the time we get games, everybody else is bored of them.
Yeah.
You know, we got Super Paper Mario half a year after everybody else, and it was like they'd already played it and beaten it before we got anywhere near it.
Final Fantasy 12 nearly came out a year after the American release, I think. It was something really stupid.
Yeah, especially on the internet where anything is old news after a day.
Yep.
It's just, I mean, imagine if we'd only just gotten Bioshock now. Can you imagine?
I
It
would
be
have fucking
shit. Everything
cried.
would have been ruined.
Yeah. Everything would have been wrecked for us. The storyline would have had, oh my god, spoilers in it by now. We'd have all known that Atlas is Fontaine.
But seriously, like, the internet is full of people who's going to ruin it for everybody. But, like, as soon as I completed Bioshock, that's when all the fucking stuff started coming out, like Atlas is Fontaine and all that shit, and you can't help yourself to not look at it. I know a lot of people got a lot of resistance and don't look at spoilers and stuff, but someone will come into Ventrilo and shout it and then leave, and, like, there's going to be some way someone will tell you that Atlas is Fontaine, like, if you're a Bioshock fan and want to play the game. So, in that respect, it's great that Bioshock came out very, very quickly. I think it only came out a couple of days after or something like that. But we haven't even seen Final Fantasy 12 Relevant Wings yet, which has been out in America for God knows how long.
It'll be
for
Final
fucking
Fantasy.
forever.
It'll be Final Fantasy 12 Irrelevant Wings by the time
Oh,
we get it.
I see what you did there. But honestly, like, loads of games just I don't even care about anymore because I've read about them. All the main gaming sites obviously just dropped what would be the best one. They're all American based, and even the European ones get the news as quick as they can, and it's always going to be on the games that are just coming out then now in Japan and America. So when they eventually do come out in England, websites aren't talking about them. We don't even know what the fuck they are anymore. Like, nobody gives a shit.
Yeah, I more often than not don't realise the game's come out.
Yeah, honestly.
Just,
I didn't even
like,
realise
it just slips in under the radar because it's just like, oh, I remember that. But
Yeah,
I mean,
'cause
that's
most
where
of the game
the-
sites, they've got no reason to retread old ground and say, oh, by the way, you know, Super Smash Brothers or whatever has come out in the UK. Because everybody reading would just switch
They'll
off.
post it. They'll post it and then say how ridiculous it is that we had to wait. But I mean, Australia gets it worse than us, and I'm sure there's somewhere else that gets it worse than Australia. But it's the fact that we have to wait for so long, and that's really frustrating. And the fact we don't even get half the games sometimes. Like Katamari Damacy for the 360, I know it wasn't very popular apparently, and it wasn't as good as like the PS2 title. But I played it in Seattle. I really enjoyed it, and I couldn't wait for it to come out. And it just didn't appear. Like, it just didn't come out at all.
You think they'd give you the option to, they just, like, basically copy it over to PAL and then don't even bother localizing it and then let you basically... It'd be better than nothing.
Well, yeah, make it Region 0, which I know Call of Duty, the American Call of Duty 4, had no region locking. So people who... I know it came out very close to the US date, so we didn't really have to wait very long. But I knew two people who imported their copies and said they worked fine on their British 360s. But it's the fact that we even have to wait. And I know Jim recently made a post about Square Enix titles that are just coming out that I remember reading about fucking last year about how new and they were coming out in America soon, and now they're not even out over here yet. And there's so many titles like that, and or that just don't come out. And like, it's really frustrating, especially for gamers over here, is that America gamers who import think they've got it expensive. Well, fucking look again, because not only do we have to spend like however ridiculous amounts they will charge us for shipping, because I know shipping gets overpriced. The games are more expensive to import anyway, especially if you're going from a British importer, and it just builds up. Like, if I buy stuff from Yes Asia, I'm spending like 50, 60 quid in a game, which is like nearly $120 on a game, because I've had to import it all the way through.
Yeah.
It's fucking bullshit.
And this is where the PlayStation is surprisingly strong. This is another thing that I didn't really realise until I got one, but I think all of their exclusives have come out in the UK usually within like 2 or 3 days, or at least within the month, which is really good. But,
It'll change.
I mean, the Xbox 360 tries to do that where it can, but as I've pointed out before, only the Western developers seem to really try and.
I was just going to ask you,
that.
do you think it's the consoles or do you think it's the developers that are the main?
I think with Nintendo, it's impossible to tell because most of the games and the console come from the same company.
Yes.
But I would say, it seems to me that the major problem comes, and I've said this before, it is from Japanese companies. Gears of War, Halo 3, anything Western will come out usually unlocked. It'll be region free for a start, and it'll come out like on the Friday after the game is released in the US on Tuesday. And the only reason it comes out a few days after is because that's just the day of the week that our game releases fall on. In Japan,
which I quite like, actually. I like that Friday day of release. I know in America everyone gets in like a couple of days early and they're all saying how great it is, but I always get so confused like with release dates and stuff. It's just nice to know that on Friday there's going to be a whole new bunch of new titles out, not like one on Tuesday, one on Thursday, and one maybe on Saturday. That would be too confusing.
Yeah,
I like
that's
the
fine.
fact
I
that
don't mind that,
release date.
The only but as far as Japanese companies go, I don't know, they just seem almost incapable, unless it's Capcom.
Licensing, dude. It's licensing.
I don't know, I don't buy any excuses they give us, because other people
that's
can
the only
manage it.
thing. It's the only thing I can point to, because it's the same with anime.
Yeah,
because America's got a lot more anime than we do, and like the stuff that eventually does get released over here is really old, and it's all to do with licensing. That's why half of it doesn't get released here.
The thing is, if Capcom can manage to bring out Lost Planet on the same week...
Well, the bigger companies will be able to, of course.
Yeah, well, why can't Nintendo do it?
Yeah.
Arguably the biggest company.
Well, let's be fair, Nintendo are a fucking eternal cocktease who do what they like, and Nintendo fanboys forgive them for whatever. Like, Super Smash Brothers, like, they'll forgive them for, because that's what Nintendo fanboys are like. And when was it?
Nintendo managed to do Super Mario Galaxy before Christmas. And yet they can't manage. They're telling us.
That's a sales date. It's all about sales, and it's all about timing.
Yeah, but they're telling us that they're incapable of giving us Super Smash Brothers more before, like 6 months after the Americans get it. I'm sorry, but I don't buy any... Well, they don't even give excuses, you know.
I mean, they say it's to do with licensing, and then the whole conversion to PAL, which I'm sure cannot be an issue anymore. The fact that so many games come out, like Bioshock came out, like pretty much nearly the same day from like NTSC and PAL, like. So that, to me, isn't an excuse anymore. I know Mario Party 8 came out over here and then got sent back because of swearing issues, but that still came out pretty quickly. But it just makes no sense. And the other thing is that, fair enough, is the American one, I think they only have English and Spanish, is it? I don't know. But over here, like, we've got to translate it to all the European languages.
Bollocks.
But that can't take that long.
It doesn't.
Because they can do it with all the other games, like, so quickly.
Yeah.
Like, games like Final Fantasy, I can slightly understand because they're very text-based. And, like, especially with the new ones, there's a lot of voice acting, so I can understand that taking a little bit longer.
The thing is,
but why don't they just send us the American one and then just take it rest for France and all that?
Yeah, they brought out, like, 2 PAL versions.
Shit about them.
What about 2 PAL versions, like an English one and then one with all the other languages in?
Yeah, for Australia and England, and, like... They could release English copies to countries that usually have English as second language, as very fluent second language. But I know, like France, they'd have to fucking wait because none of those buggers can speak English. but like Germany, I know a lot of Germans and loads of different people who speak really fluent English, and there's a lot of them that speak very fluent English, which is kind of strange. So it just leads me to believe that most of their country can speak really good English. So they just release the game in English there.
The translation excuse seems to hinge on the belief that you can only translate into one language at a time, one after the other.
Yes.
If you have several
Well, that's true,
translations,
yeah.
you know, these things are worked on by several localization teams who would, I don't know, do it all at the same time, so it really doesn't take that long.
That sounds like madness, Jim.
Yeah, it's not like they have to translate into English first, then into Spanish, then German, then
Yeah, well,
Hungarian.
of course,
Do it,
yeah.
they
But
can-
then the whole thing would get changed if it was translated from like one
You know,
language to
Look
another.
at Metal Gear Solid 4, right? That is having a simultaneous worldwide release, okay? Now, there is a shitload of talking in that game. They need different voice
Because they're
actors.
translating it.
Yeah, they need different voice actors for every fucking country. And what?
Yeah.
And they're managing it. They're managing a worldwide release. Konami can do it. Capcom can do it. If you're telling me Nintendo can't, well, you know,
Nintendo's one of these
Nintendo is
companies
saying
who's
we're
able
rubbish.
to do what the fuck they want and take their fucking time and have a console that is quirky and like fun apparently, but went against everything that I believed it should have been. They've always done what they've wanted to do, and people would just end up forgiving them for it and just saying, "Oh, good old Nintendo, you're fucking great and everything." And especially in the situation they're in now, they can do what the fuck they want to do because they're pretty much dominating the market. So who's to say they don't have to fucking, you know, like release a game on time?
Oh, they
Yeah.
don't have to. They don't have
They
to.
don't.
It's their prerogative. It's their company. They can do what they like with it. And I mean, I think part of it does fall on we as Europeans who will always take this shit and
And we'll always pay more.
pay
and-
full
Yeah.
price. Yeah, I mean that's why I try not to. You know, I will use Games Tracker to find because online stores will sell video games for like brand new video games for like 30-40 quid. And I'll find those sites and I'll buy from those sites. Only once did I buy a game like a couple of times did I buy a game full price and it kills me inside. And so I urge people not to do it. I strongly believe in...
I'm always a second-hand
Yeah,
girl.
I strongly believe in second-hand
If
gaming
I don't,
in the
if
UK.
I don't get it on first day release, I go in the next day, and there's usually always guaranteed, unless the game's like fucking crazy. Like even Halo, like if you go like the next day when I was working, because I was working when that game came out, and the second day we already had like 7 copies of Halo, like pre-owned.
Yeah.
So
No, I'm a huge supporter of second-hand
it doesn't matter how
games.
great it's always going to be second-hand copies or people who got it before release, finished it, and then they want to trade it in for something different, you know. So that happens a lot. So I'm a big supporter of second-hand because I know Game, they only really knock off like £5 if it's a brand new game, and it's still £5.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
it's something.
we get told a lot of times now to show respect to the industry by not buying second-hand. And
Fuck off.
I'd like to say, when is the industry going to fucking respect us?
Like us.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, Jim, you're my fucking genius. I love you.
I'm your genius.
You are.
Your pet genius who is fed
You're my pet
Scooby
genius.
Snacks.
Seriously, like that's a fucking great argument. Like I'm gonna continue not supporting the industry by buying secondhand games because they're cheaper. I can actually play your fucking game because I've wanted to play it and I've been waiting months to play it. But the Americans have been playing it for fucking how long? And
You know
and yeah, fuck
you know
you
what's
guys.
cheaper than second-hand?
Renting.
Yar, pirates.
I rent a lot as well.
Yeah, that's
Like,
the thing.
this
I
is
mean,
why people pirate games. Like, Call of
Yeah.
Duty 4, 44 quid. That's how much I paid for that game.
That's nearly that's about
$90.
$90. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, most new games, you go into GameStation or Game, they're selling new Xbox 360 games for £50.
Yes.
And I'm sorry,
these-
but they're 60
Well, no,
bucks.
it's $39.99.
No,
That's
no.
a usual Xbox 360 game.
Well,
I know.
well, you're lucky then, because most of the ones I see around here, the recommended retail
What
price...
store are you going into? GameStation.
GameStation, yeah, the
Oh,
Yeah.
dang! Well,
The-
GameStation is slightly smaller than Game, so I
the
suppose
recommended retail price for an
Right.
Xbox 360 game is $49.99. When in America they're $60, so over here they should be £30.
So $29.99, which
Yeah.
like titles like I was really surprised when Tomb Raider Anniversary came out. That was a $29.99 title. I thought that was a good price for the game. A lot of the games that come out at $29.99 usually are the kind of cheap budget games, which is a shame. And then you feel ripped off because you spent 30 quid in a game that really is probably only worth 20 quid. So we never ever win with this whole kind of like situation, like money situation.
Well, I mean, Europe is always fucked over on electronics more than anything else.
Well, yeah.
I mean, I noticed this in America. Even though it's like £1 to $2, the prices in America reflect it, so it evens out. Most things cost twice as much in dollars as they cost in pounds over here, so it almost evens out. You know, a pound will go as far in the US as it does in the UK. But as far as electronics go, no. If a television is $1,000 in America, it'll be £1,000 in England. They don't. It doesn't work out. It's not equal.
They just seem to replace the dollar with a pound.
Yeah. And don't even get me started on Microsoft charging us the same amount in pounds as you get in dollars for fucking Microsoft points.
Oh, yeah, dude, and Xbox Live as well. Like, it's £50. That's like $100 for fucking a year of Xbox Live, which I pay because I like, obviously when the service fucking works, and I can't wait till we get this crappy free next version of Yaris to come out as our forgiveness. But, like, honestly, like, I pay 50 quid and the Americans pay like $50 or something, and then you have all the Microsoft points, like, and I can't even import the Xbox points because I know Puppet was going to send me a bunch, but if he sent me them, technically they're like money, so they charge you for what it is on top of the postage. So if I bought $20 worth of Xbox points, I'd have to pay $20 plus, like, in tax just on shipping them in, so it'd be pointless.
And, well, not only that, I mean, I've heard they don't even work, American points cards.
Oh, yeah. I'm not 100% sure on that.
I read a story by Ben Padden, who I'm doing some investigative journalisms on it.
You wearing a trilby?
Before I actually post it on Destructoid, but Ben Padden writes for Game Partisan, and he recently did what I'm going to do, and that's emigrate to the US from the United Kingdom. Now, he could obviously log in with his Xbox Live account, but Xbox customer service refused. They can do it, I know they can, but they flat out refused to migrate his account from a UK to a US account. So
that makes no sense.
Yeah, he couldn't use his credit card. His new American credit card to subscribe to Live, buy points. The only way you can do it is to buy points and subscriptions from the UK, which would mean he'd have to spend like $80 a year to subscribe to Xbox Live for a year, and probably pay a shitload of tax and shipping for a card.
You know, you're going to have to be very careful with all of this, because then didn't Microsoft ask his website to fire him? Because he'd been complaining so much.
That's what I've... Now, obviously, this is all alleged because I want to look into it. I've asked, I'm asking around Microsoft for an official word on this before I do any major accusations.
Oh, yeah.
But, because I don't... I don't know too much about Game Partisan, and while I, do believe they're being genuine here, I want to make sure it is 100%. Yeah. But if they're to be believed, then Microsoft tried to get Game Partisan to fire Ben Padden to eliminate any source of contention, i.e., they didn't want this getting out.
Yeah.
And do you know what their advice to Ben was to keep his gamer tag and everything? This is classic.
What?
They told him to move back to England.
Are you serious?
Apparently, the response he got from a Microsoft rep was, "Oh, well, I don't know how attached you are to the US, but you could always move back to England. It is an option."
I know when I keep mentioning Puppet, but I know Puppet called up about having his account changed from a child's account into an adult's account, and I know that but I know that the actual people you call up have no power at all over your account. They can't add anything to your account. They can't change anything to your account.
But they can give your password away to anybody who calls up and asks for it.
Oh, can they? I don't know. But all I know is that these people, the only thing they can do for you is step by step walk you through things you can read in the manual. That is it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
so
this
if you
is-
ever have a problem, don't fucking... Like, I know we might have Nathan Nelson on sometime, but don't fucking waste your money calling up Xbox support, because they're just gonna recite to you what is in the
I
fucking
found-
manual.
When I bought an Xbox 360 that had managed to get itself banned from Xbox Live, and I still don't know why, they told
Child
me...
porn.
Shut up, child porn. That was on my
Yeah.
laptop. They sent me a link to a website that might be able to help me, and it was a link to their terms of service. I was so insulted. I
honestly,
phoned them
dude.
right back up, and I said, "This is bollocks."
This is bullet.
That's actually no, because I actually said bollocks. I said, because she said, "Oh, I can only tell you what blah blah blah." I said, "No, I'll tell you what this is. This is bollocks."
Ox. The thing is, though, I eventually want to move to America as well, and if I had to I know it's sad to give a crap, but I don't want to have to change my gamer tag or get a new gamer tag and
Well,
change my APSCN one to a different name.
It's certainly not.
Well,
because-
I don't have to do that because I've paid for that account. I put love
Yeah.
into that account, you know? I don't
Well,
want
no,
to,
it's
like,
true.
I know it's sad, but I've got achievements on that account.
There's
I
a
don't
huge
want to...
personal investment in a gamer tag. It costs, all those arcade downloads that you bought, all the Microsoft points, and yeah, even the gamer score, which I know is really cool for people to hate nowadays. It's
I hate.
I'm
the,
not a fan. I'm
gamer
not a
point.
fan of achievement whores. I'm not a fan of someone who rents that Avatar game and plays it for the first 5 minutes to get 1,000 points and puts it down because obviously
Awesome.
it's a shit game. I'm not a fan of people who rent King Kong because that is a shit game. I don't care what people say. That is a shit game. Play it all the
I
way
quite
through
liked
just
it on
to get 1,000
PS2.
points. Shut up, Wardrogs. Anyway, I'm not a
Fine.
fan of people buying and playing shit games and just getting them for achievement points. Like,
yeah, but I mean,
but-
even so, the
it's
gamer
fun to get
score is-
achievement points.
Yeah, exactly, and you just
You
have
just
to
have to
lose
do
it
it.
all.
but yeah,
Yeah,
fuck everything.
everything.
But no, they should be able to migrate your account from a British account to an American account. It
Apple-
makes absolutely
Apple
makes
can
no
do
sense
it.
to me.
Apple can do it. It's Microsoft saying
Well,
it's
Apple
worse than
apparently coming
Apple,
out with a console for all we know, you know?
but
They probably have
Apple,
great support.
Apple can migrate accounts that you have with them. So if Microsoft is saying it's worse than Apple, well, that's their decision.
It's honestly, it blows my mind, like how they can't do that. I just don't understand why they couldn't be able to do that. Because it literally is a change of address when you think
You know
about
why
it.
they haven't done it, don't you? It's because no one's kicked up a fuss and they're not losing money over it. What happens? You go over to America and you either don't buy another account, in which case they're not like losing money, or you buy another one and then you're paying twice. I mean, once the fuss has been kicked up, then Microsoft will actually care.
Should we just go on to what else do we need to talk about?
Oh, I don't know. We're not talking about delays anymore.
Oh no, we're just fucking
A
bitching
few
about
reader
it. Should we
questions will
just
help us.
Yeah.
Oh,
Let's just
reader
go. Let me-
questions, they're always fun.
Yep, as
20
usual, unlike Podtoid, I ask for discussion topics and help with us with the actual subject of what we're talking about. So if I ask people to chip in with their thoughts on delayed games. So the first question was, Jim, I would like to know your thoughts on the recent quitting of GameSpot employees. How will it affect GameSpot? Thanks for that question about delays in the UK.
Anyway, next question.
Mr. Red, he asked quite an interesting one,
Hey, you
actually.
missed Pyramid Head.
Are we actually going to go through every single one?
No.
Well, I think he had a good one.
Mr.
Oh, he
Red had a
does.
good one. He said, do you think if a small developer catered...
You dick.
Yeah, shut the fuck up, Jim.
What?
Pyramid
Pyramid
Head had a
Head
good
question.
question. Why
Yeah.
would you miss? And Pyramid Head is awesome as well. I like
Yeah.
rape.
I like
I've
to
just-
do.
I've just said rape is a good thing.
Well, how do you know I wasn't going to do Pyramid Head's question?
Because it
You're
just
an idiot.
seems strange that you would change the chronological order of the questioning.
Yeah, well, I already mentioned fucking a comment from Praise Chaos, and he's the last one on my list, so
Well, fuck you, Jim.
go
We're gonna
frig
do
your
Pyramid Head.
minge off with a knife.
Don't want to.
Well, go on then. Let's answer Mr. Pyramid Head's question now. Go on.
Yay.
Read
Is
it
your
then.
better?
Read it.
Pyramid Head says, how do you feel about the recent increase of blog vigilance, yay or nay? And then he says a load of shit. So I think it's a good thing. I think CTZ has come on top as a C-blog master. And yeah, I think people who have blogs that are 2 lines long and full of bullshit should be deleted.
Bullshit
And
chips.
possibly banned in the future. What about you two? How do you feel?
I don't care about blogs anymore. No one reads mine. It's rubbish.
Well, that's true.
I don't
Jim?
care.
What's
Jim?
it even got to do with the subject of today's episode?
Oh,
It's
just go
about
on with
delays.
fucking Mr. Red's comment. Fuck you, Jim. And your small dick.
Right. How do you know it's... Mr. Red asks, do you think if a small developer catered to Europe and gave America the finger, would that developer become big in Europe? It's a good
Yeah.
question.
No, it isn't.
No, they wouldn't, because the money making is America. They wouldn't make much money, and it wouldn't be as advertised, and they...
Well,
I don't
Codemasters
know.
haven't done too badly. Mind you, they haven't really given the finger to America.
Well, let's be fair. Codemasters haven't really got that many really amazing titles.
Got Overlord. That's all they need.
I like.
They've got a few good rally
It's
games.
just personal preference. I didn't like Overlord. I didn't like Jericho. A lot of their MMOs are actually really shit. So yeah, that's
but-
my personal take. But
Lauren, they're code
They could release something I love.
masters.
pardon,
They're code masters. They're
I forgot
masters
that.
of code.
the code,
The Konami code.
Konami code. Anyway,
Well, I think he's saying if, we had a European developer who released things over here first, and then gave, America, like 6 months later. Do you
There's no
think...
reason why they would do that, though.
Well, there is no reason why... This question's actually shit. Fuck you, Mr. Red. Moving on.
I think we should just randomly pick a few more.
Well,
no, just keep going.
I like...
Spartacus, that's a good question.
I like it because he says, are there any significant changes in games like Super Paper Mario in the European versions? Do they even go through and change all the words colour to colour with a U? Now,
Yes, they do.
there was a significant change with Super Paper Mario, because when it was released here in England, they put a glitch in it. So the PAL versions were all fucked up.
Which is always great.
So once again, thank you, Nintendo. I'm
You're our
somewhat
favourite
overjoyed.
company.
Yeah, I'm gonna pirate everything you do from now on, you fucking cunts.
Apparently it's quite easy to pirate away.
What's Reggie Fils-Aimé gonna do? Knock down my door with his big meaty hamburger fists and batter me to death with his greasy sausage? Actually, he could do that. He's really scary. He looks like... I don't know, he looks like Herman Munster made out of
I
minced
just read
beef.
Sleeping Again's comment.
What did he say?
Sleeping Again, it's not really a question, but once Jim is in the States, is he going to spam Wardrux with receipts of games he has to wait for? It's really
Yeah.
cruel.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to have to wait, because I'm going to have my PS triples. And so I can just import. And then show you all the exclusive sexy games as your 360
Honey,
Red
the
Ring.
European version of the PS Triple is in multi-region.
I'm living a lie, shut up.
Anyway, what other questions, Jim?
Repra says... That's got nothing to do with it either. But he did... I don't know why I copied that, because it's actually got nothing
No,
to do
you like it because he mentions your name.
He does mention my name.
You.
Top
He
tip
knows
to
you,
everyone.
you're copying.
Write just Jim Sterling
Jim.
at the top of your question, and he's guaranteed to read your name out.
Jim, he says, why the fuck do you sound like every video game character ever? Can you do Peach, or do you have like a soundboard of character samples sitting next to you? I didn't do that many. I can do...
All your video game character impressions sound the same anyway.
No, they don't.
Go on, do a range. Give me a range.
Okay.
Snake.
Snake. Metal Gear.
Super Mario.
Let's go.
Peach.
I don't know if I can do Peach.
Peach. Lara Croft.
Hello. I'm Lara Croft. Don't fancy bending me over
Master
and raiding
Chief.
my tomb, do ya?
Master Chief.
Ah, Metal Gear. He sounds a bit like Snake.
Jill Valentine.
Stop just... No, see, I can't do every video game character ever. Stop it, Reaper. You're making me sound better than I am.
Oh, the guy from Call of Duty. 50,000 people died
50,000
here.
people used to live here. Now,
Claymore!
apples and pears.
Domination. I love that game.
I can do a bit of Frank Fontaine, which I did on the last show.
Oh,
But
don't do
Don't
it.
do it
man.
again.
Most of the impressions I did, anyway, were like 80s pop culture icons like Rita Repulsa and Skeletor, and they're not video game characters. Fucking Dr. Claw isn't in a video game.
Maka asks, what possible business sense could there be for Nintendo in delaying games, and why do you think they do it? I don't fucking know.
No.
He's done like an A-B-3. He's done question A, question B, and question 3.
What a witty man.
What a witty, funny man. Do
He
you guys
obviously
anything
has a
to
very
say
big
about question
wit.
A?
Actually, we kind of... I mean, what possible...
We've kind of touched on that, yeah.
I don't know what the business sense is in doing it, but it's certainly not
They're
logical.
Laughing in their seats.
Yeah,
They
I mean,
find it hilarious.
to be honest, there is no real logical sense in delaying Super Smash Bros., which is an online game, which means that by the time we get it, everybody else will be super elite at Super
Maybe
Smash
they're waiting for
Bros.
January sales to end.
Waiting for January sales to end. That's why it's in Japan, because it's not like the Japanese New Year or something.
Well, they don't really have January sales like we have January sales.
No. They just have glacial fortresses.
Question B says it's not only release dates we get shafted on, it's also price. Why the fuck is this happening? Surely PS3 will be a nice lead over the 360 in England if they set the price the same as in US. Actually, they're being very clever. It's not hurting their sales because people are fucking paying more.
Yeah, well, that's what we were saying. Part of the problem is the European market is that we bend over and take it up the arsehole every single
We'll
time.
pay it because if we don't pay it, we won't have it because they're not
The
going
ironic thing is that if we all start pirating, then they'll just charge even more and say, "Oh, it's because of pirates."
Yeah, it's because,
Which they do with
it's
films.
because of black market, and that's one of the reasons the prices are so high anyway.
Yeah, but I mean,
So-
this is also a reason why second-hand
Yep.
shops do
Oh
so
yeah,
well over
yeah.
here.
Second hand is obviously fucking hurting them, isn't it?
I mean, I think
The whole
that's
five pound we
yeah.
say.
I think that's the one thing we do in Europe to kind of counter it. Because I mean, someone asked if piracy was more widespread.
Second hand gaming
I mean,
is huge
yeah.
over here.
I mean, Nihon Tiger 90, who I like because he likes Dynasty Warriors. Sorry?
For a joke, I wanted people to send me nerdcore photos of themselves, male nerdcore.
I saw that.
And,
Yeah.
Didn't
Nihon
turn me on.
Nihon Tiger's actually sent me a good folder's worth.
Oh,
I'm not. Let me count how many images he sent me. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh no, those are velocity microns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 special handmade images.
Is one of them Goatsy?
One of them is him sat in his chair with his arms behind his head, his legs open. Oh my god, it's so horrendous. A Wiimote and 2 nunchucks covering. And then there is a close-up of said nunchucks and Wiimote.
Is someone else
there's-
taking the photos?
I don't know, but they're absolute classics. Because I'm hoping, actually, this.
Can you forward them to me?
If anyone has any special male nerdcore images they'd like to send me,
And
for a
me.
big old
I want
joke,
some.
send them to me. I'm gonna do like a little calendar for a joke.
Yeah,
And maybe
Wardrobe's
If you don't want to be
like
put in a
Justified.
calendar and you just want to be looked at, send them to me.
Cannibal Calvin is like the skills of this. He's got the skills for this, but Nihon Tiger's just sending me so many. It's just.
Quantity or quality?
It's great because Nihon Tiger 90 asked if he could get a shout out on the podcast, so I don't think he quite wanted this.
If anyone wants some pictures of him, they have to send me more, and then I'll release them in a calendar I'm going to make for a lol. So yeah, if you want to see these pictures, you'll have to convince other male gamers to send me some interesting pictures of them with gaming stuff on them.
Mecha
Oh,
also asked, who the fuck is Wardrox and why does he hate people of the Jewish religion? It's
I
because
hate all religious people.
he's Roman.
Yep, that's true.
He's
I am in
actually
fact Roman.
he is actually an ancient Roman governor.
I don't think that's actually insulting. I'm just waiting for this to turn into some joke about the dead mother.
He does have a question. If you scroll down, he does actually have a question because all the other stuff above him is kind of bullshit. He says, how do you in Europe deal with the delays? Do you import from other countries like America or do you wait it out? How pervasive is importing in the European gaming culture? He has another part, but we'll just touch on that for now.
Well, I mean, that's why I brought him up a moment ago, because I think rather than import, I think we get our own back with the second-hand market, which is burgeoning.
It's doing really well over here, and I think stores like oh shit, I just fucking forgot the name. The one you shop at, Jim.
Game Station.
Game Station.
I used to shop there. I shop at Blockbuster now. Their second-hand games are actually
some new releases,
better.
Which are very anything brand new, like seal wrapped from Game Station, is ridiculously overpriced. But they pride themselves on pretty much running completely second-hand on nearly everything. Game has a huge second-hand section, but it really does rely just on its customers bringing stuff in.
Plus, their part exchange rates are shit.
But yeah, the part exchange at Game's a little crappy. I can't
Game
say.
Station used to be decent, but seems to be a bit bad now.
But I can't say about anywhere that takes games in anymore. Like even like independent, like secondhand game stores, their exchange rate was kind of crap as well. So
I found Blockbuster games who used to be like the Game Stations. They've kept pretty good.
Well, I mean,
what I like about Blockbuster is they once like games they're not popular and people don't rent them anymore. They put them in bargain bins and sell them for like £1. So
yeah, I mean,
yeah.
I only recently discovered Blockbuster as a great source of video game purchases, but now, I mean, the one on my high street, I'm going to start going to all the time because I couldn't get a copy of Halo anywhere in Eltham for anything less than like £50. I went into Blockbuster, they had tons for second hand for about 24 quid. And I'm not buying...
It doesn't make sense to buy brand new games when you can buy it half the price.
Yeah, I mean, if you go...
And much in brand new condition as well.
Yeah, I mean, they at the moment, you know, they've got brand new games. Granted, most of it was Assassin's Creed, but even so, brand new game. If you bring in one selected game to trade in, you can buy it for £15.
Yeah, which is excellent.
Which is amazing.
If you are a PS3 owner in the UK right now, you are in the lottery of second-hand games still in sealed wrapping. When I was in the game, I pretty much had every title in the current PS3 library still sealed wrapped. We had about 10 of each.
I would only... sorry.
So if you're looking at paying half the price and still want it seal wrapped, like pretty much new, go into your game and just ask at the counter, because I'm pretty sure they'll tell you if they've got sealed copies. Because we usually, in the second-hand drawers, we usually keep like the sealed stuff in there, because that's the quicker stuff to go and people are more likely to buy it. Because obviously we want to upgrade people to buy second-hand, because that's where the money goes. But yeah.
I would only ever recommend buying sealed stuff from Game, because every time I bought a second-hand game from Game, I hate saying that. Every time I've bought a second-hand game from Game, it's been fucked up. They don't check their games. At least the ones I go in. They don't check what they're selling you second-hand.
I mean, when I was working at Game, when I check games, I always check that they're not scratched. And even if it's like a little scratch, if it's a scratch, I'm not taking it in. But obviously, I can't guarantee that all the games in the store, even if all the clerks in the store are really good at keeping that quality high, is if we get sent ones that are really scratched up, we can't do anything about it. Like, I remember getting like Grand Theft Auto San Andreas is a PS2 game that we get in a lot, like 10 copies, second-hand copies, like every week or something like that. And you get in so many of them, and then like they're so fucking scratched up, you can't sell them. But someone in game, well, that's another thing. Well, that's another thing. Game have just introduced it. Actually, is disc cleaning, and it literally just takes a layer off the CD. But I think they actually charge you to do that, which I think is fucking stupid.
Game Station
game that comes in.
Yeah, my local game station, if they take games off you, part exchange, they'll knock the price off what they give you if they have to run it through the machine.
Oh, that's pretty good.
And it's nice that they actually run it through the machine and knock the price off.
Yeah.
Like, that's cool.
No. I mean, they will knock the money off that they give you for a part exchange game to run it.
Okay.
Don't be silly. A game store doing something for the customer.
Sorry,
should have guessed.
You
Anyway.
Get away with yourself. Yeah, there were more questions asked of us. Backspace295 said, talk about why you love video games as opposed to why you hate them. Ooh, aren't you a clever one, you cunt. Right, moving on.
White Spider Zero, he asked some stuff that we've already answered, and then he's like, basically says, who do you think are the worst offenders when it comes to giving Europe the shaft? Nintendo are obviously one of them. Nintendo are obviously one of the more prolific offenders, but I'd be interested in what the Podcastle thinks.
I'd still say Nintendo, dude.
Nintendo.
Okay, apart from Nintendo, who would you say? Just
Japan.
Generic, any
the
Japanese
country
developer.
of Japan. Even Curry, who I love, even they...
That's not a huge name, always gets delayed. Like, I was surprised that Shadow of the Colossus didn't get delayed, like, a lot before it came out here, and I think that's probably because of the popularity of Ico, but a lot of games that aren't kind of mainstream, like Grand Theft Auto or Metal Gear or stuff
anything
that
comes from a
get
Western...
delayed.
Anything that comes from a Western developer seems to come out here, no problem.
Yeah, it's I still my mind boggles at the fact that Square Enix is having such trouble releasing stuff quickly over here. Seeing that is a really recognized game company,
they're Japanese. That's the thing.
I know, but it just still doesn't make any sense to me, at all.
Kingdom Under Fire is coming out on the 1st.
Oh yeah, we haven't even got that yet.
Yeah, 1st of February it comes out, and we don't even have a demo yet.
I went on to my American account to download the demo, and I was actually quite looking forward to that game, but now I'm not.
I still am, because it's like...
The demo was shit.
The fact that everyone hates it seems to tell me I'm going to love it. I typically... Because nobody likes Dynasty Warriors either, and I love the shit out of that.
I like Dynasty Warriors.
Dynasty Warriors, that game where you kind of beat a bit of enemies, run forward, and then beat a bit more, don't you?
You just button mash continuously and run into hordes of enemies. It's awesome.
Oh, well, that's...
really stressful,
well, the demo literally is, like, it's got really nice background music when you finally get out of the training zone. And then you'll go into a battle, and the music will change into, like, this battle music, which isn't as cool as the kind of background music. So I was kind of disappointed every time I went to a battle, because the music would change. The battle would last me, like, a minute, and then I'd go on to the next, like, I'd have to run another, like, a minute, and then I'd fight another bunch of them for a minute, and run another minute. So it was just getting...
It sounds brilliant.
Honest, it was just too repetitive for me.
I actually tried to set up a US account the other day, but they want a phone number and a US address and everything.
Google Maps. People ask me all the time, how do I make a Japanese account? How do I make an American account? Fucking Google Maps. Domino's Pizza in America is also in Japan. Both my accounts are Domino's Pizza accounts.
Is that even legal, though?
They don't check it, dude. Like, I'm not going to say what my other gamer tags are, but, like, that's it. Like, both the accounts are Domino's accounts. All you need to do is when you make a new email to link to the account, you just have to make sure that you give it a Domino's Pizza account, and then the other one will have a Domino's Pizza account, and then when you register that email to the account, you'll just put the same address information to confirm it, so they can't deny it.
Yeah,
What is to say you are not the owner of that Domino's Pizza?
Although you're not the owner and you just live there.
Yeah, that's why when I did because on the PlayStation Network, PSN, I've got a Japanese and an American one, and I just use hotels because I might be staying there with my PlayStation.
Yeah, when Kasarai finds out about that, he's gonna be pissed.
Oh, but I like my PlayStation.
He's gonna come and get
looking
you.
Smug.
Actually, when it comes to making accounts, I really want something to stop kids being able to make accounts that say they're 18+, so they can't play games like Halo and that. I wish it would just automatically... honestly, the amount of kids I hear on Call of Duty and Halo and on like Gears of War as well, which is like an 18 plus, and these kids sound like 10.
Oh yeah, they're all saying, they're all on there going, why don't you go play Viva Pinata? And I'm like, well, why don't you? It's
designed for you.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. That really frustrates me. This is totally off topic, but it just really frustrates me to see these kids playing these games. And like when I was working at a game store, it was really important to me that I didn't ever sell games that are over the age rating to these kids, because I just don't. Not only is it good for them, but it's my own selfishness, because I don't want to hear them screaming at me in Halo, you know? But they're really fucking... I wish it was a law. I know it's never going to become a law, but I think it should be against the law for kids under a certain age to play certain age games.
Yeah.
It's never going to happen, but...
Well, they should just make it like films.
Well, I mean, I don't know if I agree with it being against the law, because I'm actually not of the belief that video games are bad for kids anyway, even if they are age-rated. I mean, I grew up watching Terminator 2
I don't want a 10-year-old playing Bioshock.
Well, no,
like,
I
personally, in my head, I'd never think, like, when I'm playing Bioshock, that I'm going to go outside, find a needle, inject it myself, and think I can use plasmids, you know? But when I was 13, I had a fucking crazy imagination, and I'd talk to imaginary people, and I'd play with dolls, like, action figures, because my parents thought I was going to be a boy when I was born, so I had action men instead of Barbies. And the Cindy, my sister cut all its hair off, so she was Action Cindy, and she would run around, and I put mud on her face, and she was like in the army, and it was awesome. And I had a huge fucking imagination at 13, and I played video games, and I didn't play like kind of... I mean, I watched my brother play like Max Payne and all that shit, but it never, like, I never thought that I'd ever shoot a gun or anything. But kids these days, with all the media, and it's so realistic.
Yeah.
But again,
I don't know. If I have kids, I don't want ever, like, a 10-year-old playing an 18-rated game. It wouldn't even go through my mind.
Well,
I don't care how fucking responsible they are. They're not until they're 15. Which sounds really stupid and contradictory, but I think...
Well, in
my house, my kids grow up, they're going to be surrounded by video games, so they're going to be, like, they're going to understand, like, the difference between reality.
That's where it comes down to parenthood as opposed to it being any kind of law.
Yeah, I suppose, because I'll be sat with them playing with it. Well, most parents aren't sat with them, but I'll be next to them.
I mean, let's face it, a kid should not be allowed to interact with adults online without, you know...
Yes.
They just shouldn't. They shouldn't be playing games online.
I'm not a paedophile, but what if I was? Like, that's questionable at the moment. But if I had this 9-year-old kid, I could go into private chat with them. I could send them pictures of myself. I could say, hey, this is my email address. Hey, what's your phone number? And like that, recently that girl got stalked off of Xbox Live, and he found all of her information from that.
Yeah.
And like that,
you can get
that's
so
scary
much
to me. It just feels fucked up when you have kids telling me to go fuck myself. Or, like, the other day I had messages from two 12-year-olds telling me about my pussy, which was lovely, can I just say?
Telling you about it? As if you didn't know anything about it.
I mean, I've seen it. I know what it looks like. I know what it does. But they proceeded to tell me all about it in several different messages. And the thing is with the whole kind of like blocking people, like, I'm very big on using the kind of rating system. Yeah, I'm very big on using that. I always use that. Even if it's someone just having noise in the microphone, I always use it, because it's shit like that pisses other players off, and I'd rather not play against people like that again. So I do use that system. But the only problem with it is it's so easy, and especially because when you make a new account, you have 1 month free of Xbox Live. So like I blocked this one kid, they'd follow me into every game, and I blocked this other kid, and so they just log onto their brother's account or something, and then they start messaging me again. So, like, there's not much I can do. And so I'm just blocking, like, person after person after person. And it's probably people who aren't bad, they're just using their account. But the fact that I have to keep blocking them, because these kids who are playing a 16 over here, but a 16-rated game, like, harassing me. I'm fucking 21. Why am I getting harassed by 12-year-olds, you know?
Yeah, but you get that on the fucking street as well. I just think kids should just be
I haven't had any trouble from American kids. It's mainly British kids.
Yeah, they're little
cunts. British kids online are so fucking annoying.
Yeah,
like
They're bad
I know
online and
American
in
kids
real
are little
life.
shits. I know American kids are little shits, but something about fucking British kids, like,
Hearing
there's no
a little
discipline
scally on there,
in
it's
schools
so
anymore.
annoying.
There's no discipline in schools anymore. I promise you, it's fucking
Bring back
gone.
hitting. Let teachers just smack a child.
No, I actually agree with
I
that.
in school, I wasn't good in school, but if a teacher shouted at me, I was generally kind of a little upset and like disappointed.
Yeah, that's the point. Teachers should be
But
allowed
now-
to basically make you cry.
They
Yeah,
should.
but
Just make
now-
you feel like
But
shit.
kids are so
If you
protected
tell a teacher to
now.
fuck off, the teacher can't even tell you to leave the classroom now, you know? It's like the teacher can't even slightly threaten you or shout
Yeah.
at you. There's a lawsuit on the fucking way.
Yeah, the teachers have no power, and the kids know it. The police have no fucking power.
The police
anymore.
have no fucking power.
Back in the day, and my granddad, I feel like such an old fascist for saying that.
I feel
back
old
in
right now.
the day, and since my granddad used to talk to me about this, policemen used to have like these big leather capes, like these leather cloaks. I'm sure you've seen them in like old
Yeah,
TV
yeah,
shows.
yeah.
Yeah.
These really heavy leather cloaks they used to wear. And if a kid was fucking around on the street, the policeman would take this coat off and fucking hit the kid with it.
Good job.
He would seriously just whack the kid round the back of the head with it, and they used to be able to do it, and they should be able to again. I'm sorry, but if some 13-year-old kid is, like, making life hell for a grown man, if that grown man turned around and dropped that kid on his ass, I would not feel bad for that kid one
But then the
one
grown man would be
moment.
sent to jail and the kid would probably get £5,000 compensation.
Exactly, and
Yeah.
he'd spend it on crack.
Honest, it's really sad, but kids in England these days, it's very rare when I see someone who's actually got slight intelligence, who fucking knows what they want to do, who doesn't want to go, like, drinking all night. Like, when I was 13, I didn't want to go drinking alcohol. Like, 14, 15, I started thinking about it, and 15, 16, I started doing it, but 13... I wasn't really that
Yeah.
bothered. I just wanted to play on my Game Boy, you know?
Well, Jesus.
This is the difference. When we were kids, we were kids. Now they're kids, they all think they're grown up.
Yeah.
Bloody youth of today.
Honestly, that's the difference. Because when I was a kid, it was all like we didn't get taught about sex education until about 14, 15. I played on my Game Boy, and I played with like teddy bears and figurines and stupid little things. I played in the garden on the grass and read simple picture books. But now, if you're 13, you're on your mobile, you've got your own laptop, you've got a decent allowance, you're going out clubbing, like you've probably got a car by now as well. I don't know. Like, you've got a bank
Motorbikes.
account as well. Like, I didn't have a bank account till I was like 15. Like, it's ridiculous how
You're always
like,
going on day trips to the fucking moon.
Seriously, kids these days have everything. Like, when I was there, I wouldn't dream of my parents ever spending £500 on a console. And when I was working
Yeah.
a game, these parents were coming in and buying these kids PS3s before the price drop. I'm
Yeah.
thinking, this kid's having a PS3. Oh my god, I can't even afford one, and I'm working full time. Like, that's just sad,
That
isn't it?
fucking disgusts
Well,
me.
I mean, I've been watching TV, and I think it comes down to the fact that if you spend money on your child, it shows you love them, and they'll be happy. I mean, have you seen an advert, right, when a parent has bought something for their child and the child has just cried? Have you ever seen an advert like that?
No.
No.
But
'Cause
I mean, that's when you have kids, are you going to spoil them? Like, when I have kids, I've already got game consoles, so they're already going to be slightly spoiled anyway. But they're only going to get stuff if they do stuff. Like,
Positive
I didn't get any.
reinforcement.
Like, my parents didn't buy me games or anything, or buy me stuff
I've
until
always
I
been
did
like
something,
that.
house
Yeah, I mean,
or
if a kid,
earned it.
yeah, if a kid wants
Yeah.
something, if a kid wants those sweets, he's gonna have to do me a little favour. I've always.
And then
Damn it, Jim.
I
Noted
had
that.
£1 as a pocket money from my grandfather, who'd come around once a month, and £1, like, my sister would go spend it on sweets, and I'd put it in this little jar and save it up to buy this really cool sweet, which was like, it was like this big chocolate bar thing, which was like £1.20 or something, or a magazine or something. But like now, like £1 is like nothing to them. And I'm happy if I
No.
found £1 on the floor. Like, I'm get really excited. I'm so poor. Oh god.
Right. I think we're all suitably upset and jealous of the youth of today and their guns
Fuck the youth.
and
They're all bastards.
This whole show's just turned into what's wrong with children.
What's wrong with the youth of today?
The bloody youth of today.
I was younger. Oh, I fucking hate kids.
They are disgusting. I'm not having them.
You're a bastard. You will, Jim. You know you
No,
will.
I don't own one. And
Oh,
I'm
man,
Stick it
Jim
in
looks everywhere.
Stick it in her, and she'll come to you one day and say, Jim, I'm
jam
pregnant.
it in.
And you won't punch her in the stomach. You'll be overjoyed for some fucked up
I
reason.
just start buying little shoes.
And you'll buy, little shoes.
Any woman tries to trap me, she's going down the stairs.
Think about little shoes I need.
I'm gonna buy Jim some little shoes now and send them to him.
little
Baby
clothes.
shoes.
I was like, dude, do you see all the Cheapy D stuff when he had his baby?
Oh, that was so cute. Oh, I love
I want
Cheapy D.
a baby.
I just want to go give. Oh, really?
No.
Hey.
Ugh. Oh, don't read Wardrox's
When I
blog
was
or
living
have
on
his
my own,
babies.
there was all these mothers coming in with cute babies, and I was like, oh god, I want a kid. And then I was like, no, I don't. What the fuck am I on about? There was that brief second though where I felt that I needed a child.
I really like how on the CADcast now you get about 20 minutes of like the last week with his child, and it makes you feel as if you've also had a child, and it's nice. You know, teaches me important things.
Anyway, is there any more questions?
Who
Are we
does-
fucking finished? That's my question.
There was an important question. There's two important questions.
Go on then.
Well, you've got to read them.
No, I can't be bothered. Can't be fucked.
Well, fine. There's only one important one, and that's Professor Pew's, which is how much rape will Atheistium give for a Maverick hot dog cooker?
Wait, am I raping or are they raping me?
No, how much will you give?
I'd
for
give a
in
lot of
return
rape.
for the hot dog.
Because that
Okay.
Maverick hot dog cooker is the coolest thing, so I would probably give around £30 worth of rape.
Jesus.
That's a lot of rape. That is a lot of rape.
Blimey.
Yeah, whatever. Show's over.
Darling, you were wonderful. You really were quite good. I enjoyed it though, of course. No one understood a word of what was going on. They didn't have a clue. They couldn't understand your sense of humor like I do.
Much too kind. I smiled with murder on my mind. Yesterday, when I was mad and quite prepared to give up everything.
Wardrox, I'm going to kill you and drag you into the forest and fuck you like Ted Bundy.